All right, we're here on the KYCA PM show. For those of you who thought that you were going to see the dulcet tones and hear the dulcet tones and see the fantastic formation of Patrick Kuykendall, he is not here today. Unfortunately, he had to be out of town, so you've got me. Forget it. We'll try our best. Jason Zenzaletta with you here on KYCA, and we've got a full house in studio. Tune in on Facebook, tune in on our website, and, of course, here on KYCA 1490 AM. All right, very quickly, we got one thing that I want to announce before we go around the horn and have everybody introduce themselves. We just got word, probably about a few hours ago, that the Prescott Lady Badgers flag football team is ranked number 1 in the entire state. This is fantastic. And tomorrow night, they are at home and they're facing number 4 Flagstaff. This is going to be a rough game for the Lady Badgers, who are tough. I mean, this is some team. And we are going to broadcast that game tomorrow night on KNOT, the team 1450 AM. That'll start at around 6 o'clock. We'll give you an exact time tomorrow. John Rust and Kelly Cordes will be there, we're expecting, and we will live stream the game as well on kyca.info. So let's get out there, support the Lady Badgers, and if you can't, tune us in tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's the first time we've ever live streamed a flag football game, second time we've broadcast a game. The championship last year was a heartbreaker, and I know the girls want to be undefeated and win that state championship, and this is one of the last rungs on the ladder for the regular season. Okay, now to business. More business. We have quite a few people in studio today. I want to go around the horn. We'll start over here to my left, and I believe, introduce yourselves, guys. We already talked a little bit. What's up?
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Brian Campbell. I'm the executive director for U.S. Vets here in Prescott, a retired Marine Corps First Sergeant, and I must say, Jason, you're a lot better looking than Pat.
Well, you know what? A lot of people have that. Never mind. No. Pat is something different. But thank you very much for that. You're automatically on the good list today, so that's great. Go ahead.
I feel the pressure, man.
No, you go.
So my name's Matthew Phillips. I'm the Development and Communication Manager for U.S. Vets. Really excited to be here, and I have to say, I think you're better looking than Pat, and probably a lot more articulate. So this is going to be fun, buddy.
Pat, if you're watching, I think you're fired. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Richard, I'm going to go to you next. So, Richard, explain yourself there.
Richard Rodriguez. I'm the Veterans Coordinator at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I'm in charge of all the student veterans. Retired U.S. Navy SEAL Platoon Chief. Now I just take over all the vets and run them, and they keep me young.
I'll bet.
I'm sorry, I'm on Pat's side. I'm the underdog.
Well, Pat, you're back next month. Congratulations. And we have a latecomer here, but we're thrilled to have her. Lisa, introduce yourself, please.
Yes, I'm Lisa Mitz, and I am the Director of Fundraising and Advocacy for Destiny House Restoration Center, which is an organization dedicated to helping survivors of human trafficking here in Yavapai County in Arizona. I'm also a recording artist and a songwriter.
All right. And now you came in and you said, this is coming up this Saturday. We wanted to really push this as much as possible. So this Saturday is at the Jim and Linda Lee Performance Arts Center out at Yavapai College, an Evening of Destiny. Tell us about this. What's coming up?
This is our 5th annual Evening of Destiny here in Prescott. And we do this primarily to bring the community together. Most people are unaware that trafficking is going on right here in our backyards. And so we combine a very inspiring evening of both live music, a professional concert, together with speakers. And this year we are so excited to have Lindsey Graham, the Patriot Barbie, who, as many know, spoke, I think, with Charlie Kirk here a couple years ago.
She did.
And we also have Tom Boltz, commander of the Sheriff's Office of the Trafficking Task Force. We have Kwang Nguyen, my good friend, who speaks every year. And we have a mom who is going to share the story of her daughter. It is just an incredible event, though sometimes a little tearful, really actually very inspiring. And people feel like they leave being part of the solution. And, that's what we're excited about. A lot of moms and dads don't realize what's going on through social media, grooming, traffickers. So we share a lot of that, and they're going to hear firsthand. But they're also going to have some great time with some phenomenal music and resource tables and merch tables. It's quite an event at the Performing Arts Center. Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can fill it up. So we
Yes.
know we need to get some funds raised here.
Yes.
Now, very first, before we go any further, tell people how they can get tickets, and let's get that started, and then we can talk a little bit further about this.
Yeah, that would be great. So it's this Saturday. It begins at 6 o'clock. You can get tickets at ycpac.com. That's the Yavapai College Performing Arts Center. Or you can call 928-776-2000. All the ticket proceeds, by the way, are going to a home that we are now in process of purchasing for girls 18 and above. And this is our full-time residential program that's going to empower them to get a job and live healthy, not have to go back into the life, which is a horrible life. And so we encourage everybody. There's tickets of all levels. There's a few $35 left, but really, if you want to get the best seats and if you want to meet Lindsey Graham, the Patriot Barbie, and come to the VIP meet and greet, we have tickets all the way up to $125. And in between, so everybody can come.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to that. Now, when you say about trafficking, we were discussing this before the show. We're talking about domestic trafficking, which is quite prevalent, apparently much more so than we know. Most people understand this.
Yeah, correct. Most people have no clue that human trafficking is the second highest crime in the United States. It is right behind drugs, and they often go together because most of your traffickers are also dealing with drugs, and most of the girls that get involved, and sadly some boys too, often are drugged or quickly get addicted to drugs. So they go hand in hand, but a lot of people don't realize that trafficking takes on different forms here. We're used to like the Taken movies or Sound of Freedom and all of that. And listen, no disrespect to those people that go into those international communities. That's awesome. But what we don't realize is that right here in our backyards, there's, addicted moms or dads that are selling their kids, pimping their kids out. There are, TikTok and Snapchat traffickers and groomers that are, the average girl, will post on her social media, I hate my mom, or, my boyfriend broke up with me, or whatever, and they expose their whole life, basically. And so that's where a trafficker actually looks for emotionally, challenged kids in that area, or they'll be looking in places like malls and Starbucks, and they'll befriend an older boyfriend. One of the signs we always say is if your kid starts coming home, your daughter, with a bunch of really nice clothes or purses or something, you should be asking, where did you get that from? We have heard many stories where kids will actually live double lives, where they appear to be fine on going to school, but on the weekends and other places like that, they're really in the life in many ways. Sometimes they're bribed with pictures, threatened, strip clubs, things like that. So that's why, we try to just do whatever we can right here. We work with a lot of the agencies and organizations, the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center, and the Sheriff's Office, and Vienna Welch from the Juvenile Justice Center. She's the senior probation officer, is on our advisory board. And so we also have, one last thing is we have an outpatient program, aftercare for, there might be kids who, or even adults, listen, a lot of adults deal with sexual violence, trauma, things like that. I have my own story. It's why I do what I do. But we have a program for, my husband is an acupuncture doctor here, and we provide holistic therapies. We are privately funded, so we don't turn anybody away that has come out of this kind of life, that might be dealing with anxiety, trauma, tremendous fears. and effects from these situations.
Well, you're not just dealing with drugs and the potential addictions of drugs and alcohol.
Right.
You're dealing with trauma. You're dealing with traumatic stress disorder. You're dealing with things like this, a myriad of things that they have a problem with. When you get this going and you have your house going, how many can you treat at the same time, and how long do you expect them to stay there?
That's a great question. So the house that we're in the process of purchasing right now can hold up to 6 girls, and it would be up to a 2-year program. So some might graduate within a year, depending on the level of what. Within 2 years, we want them to be in a place where they're able to be self-sufficient. Obviously, if it takes a little bit longer, that's fine. But our program is both educational mentorship and job preparation, but we also have an office where we do the treatment therapies. So we provide acupuncture, nutrition, one-on-one counseling, cognitive function development techniques. So we can also, they participate in that as well, but their first thing is to get a good job, healthy job that we help them with. And then things like, cooking and light and grocery shopping and taking care of yourself. These are things we take for granted, but a lot of these women, or young girls, they just don't know how to.
Yeah, because they've been in the life for too long, unfortunately. Well, okay, very quickly, one more time.
Yes.
Let's get tickets going, folks. How do you get
so please, everybody, we have 4 days till Saturday, so go get your tickets at ycpac.com. That's ycpac.com for the Evening of Destiny, or you can call them at 928-776-2000. It's going to be truly an epic event. Really awesome.
And also for folks out there, if you can't make it to the concert, and they just want to support the house and hopefully to get this going, what do they need to do?
Thank you. You can go to our website at destinyhouserc.org.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. And we wanted to lead off with that. We've got more to come. We're going to take our first break here on KYCA, 928-541-1016. If you have any questions, we'll go over everything before we get to the end of the show, too. So right now, not Pat Kuykendall is here, and we'll be back after this. And we're back here on the KYCA PM show. Jason Zenzaletta back with you. Yes, not Pat, but that's okay because the majority of the people left in this room like me better. So that's okay. We're good. All right, guys, thanks very much. And thank you very much for Lisa to come in. If you missed the first part, we're going to talk about Destiny House at the end of the show and the big concert that's coming up Saturday. So we'll go over that. Let's go to Richard first. And no, you know what? These guys like me better. So, first and foremost, and it's that time of year where we're talking about a food drive, and this is for U.S. vets specifically, correct?
It is.
Okay,
Yep.
Tell us what's happening.
So I'm going to pass this over to Matt. Matt,
right.
go ahead. You got
Sure.
it.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
Okay, so this is our 5th annual food drive.
Okay.
It's going to be located at 1040 Whipple Street, which is our Liberty Point facility,
Okay.
and it starts at 9 a.m. and goes to 3 p.m. All the food that's actually collected stays with our facility, and it helps us feed our over 130 veterans that we actually house in that facility, both men and women in temporary and permanent housing. What we are asking for, though, is non-perishable items, and to please check the expiration dates
Okay.
on them. But it's going to go straight to our kitchen to feeding our veterans.
Okay. And you said you're servicing 130 people at this point?
About 130 people. Last year, we served about 71,000 meals. So, that's 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And as we all know, when you go to the grocery store right now, there's that sticker shock.
Yeah.
So, we're not any different.
Yep.
So, we just need all the help we can get to give these men and women the nourishing meals that they deserve. And that is one of the big things that we do. When we have a veteran come into our facility, one of the first things we do when we sit them down is ask them, are they hungry? Do you want something to eat? Mm-hmm. And then we go from there. Then we start the process. But a lot of these men and women that come in have food insecurity, and so we want to make sure that they understand right off the bat that's something that they don't need to worry about while they're with us.
I don't know. I'm trying to phrase this question correctly, and all three of you can answer if you wish. We don't see the headlines anymore because we're out of Afghanistan, we're out of Iraq. The military, except that when Trump is dealing with one thing or another, is kind of on the back page these days when it was so much in the forefront. But the need remains, or is it getting more so as time is going on? That you're seeing more of a need for your services and for what U.S. vets can do, and for that matter, the VA and other organizations.
Yeah, I think Jason, we have a wonderful community that supports us in everything that we do, and it's apparent that the need is there. When the inflation rate skyrocketed and you were 70, 75 years old, and you find out that you have no place to live, and you're turning to U.S. vets, and you don't even know who U.S. vets are.
Right.
And then you come into our program, and we give an opportunity to put you in our transitional housing. Like Matt said, 3 meals a day, and get you some case management. Find out those goals that you're shooting for. What are those boundaries, and how we can help you out, or those barriers, and get you to that next level. It's there. We see it every single day. Last year, we found employment for 72 veterans. 100 we found permanent housing for. And like Matt said, it takes a village to raise, and handle this situation.
Sure.
And
yes.
And we've done that through food drives like the one that Matt just talked about. Last year alone, we had 3,000 pounds of food donated to us. And I don't know if Representative Quang Nguyen is on right now, but I'd like to give a huge shout out to him. This is the 5th year that he's promoted this,
Yep.
and he is a huge advocate for veterans in our community. And I know as we've partnered with him, we can't thank him enough for leaning in and really being a support network for us as well.
Absolutely. He's been on the forefront of a lot of veterans issues here, and has been invaluable to the entire community, I think. So when we're talking about U.S. vets, we're talking about veterans of all ages and all different types of needs as well. I mean, I'm sure you folks have seen just about everything in this small community, just as time has gone on. People who, from homeless to economic need to physical and mental, problems and things like that they need to be able to work through and assist with.
Usually how I describe it is okay, there's, 6 people. Let's say there's 6 people. Say there's 100 people in a room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have those 100 people, that's 100 different stories. That's 100 different needs. That's 100 different situations that every single one of those individuals has been through. And I think that's what's really important about one of the things that we do. Our case managers actually sit down with each individual veteran to find out what's their definition of success, to how do we get the obstacles out of their way so then they can become self-sufficient. And so it's not one size fits all,
right,
any more than one size fits all in this room. So that is something that's, I think, very important that people need to know. We're not a facility where we treat every single veteran exactly the same, because every single veteran's story is different, and we have fundamental things that we do with them. But overall, we're addressing that individual, and again, we try to get the obstacles out of their way so then they can become successful, get back on their feet, and live the life that they deserve.
Yeah. In the meantime, you have people to feed, people to take care of, and like you say, you're up to about 130 now. Is there looking at expansion in the future? Are we hoping for that? I mean, not hoping for it, but at least hoping for the availability to be able to do so.
Oh, we're excited. There's a lot of really cool things going on right now.
Okay.
We're anticipating 103 permanent housing units for senior veterans opening up on the VA campus.
Wow.
We're in partnership with Gorman and Company. It's part of a EUL, an enhanced use lease that was approved by Congress. And if you ever get on the VA campus and you go to the top of the hill, you'll see some beautiful historic officer quarters.
Mm-hmm.
6 of those buildings have been designated to be remodeled, and that will be, and they started that last December.
Okay.
And it's going to open up 23 units amongst those 6. And then, with that being said, right down the hill, a lot of people, they've been on the VA campus. They see this massive 4-story building that's there, and that's going to be another 80 units. So we're going to have the 23 units for permanent housing for senior veterans in January is when it's going to open up.
Okay.
And then we have another 80 units in June. And,
Wow.
and it's remarkable for us because it brings us back. We've been in Prescott for 22 years. We started out on the VA campus, moved to Gurley Street. That's Matt's time frame.
That's my old stomping grounds.
And then Carol Benedict, paved the way for us to move to Liberty Point in 2020, and now here we are with the next chapter, and moving forward with more veteran housing. I think, what's remarkable about it too is we went from a point where there was about 30% of our homeless population in Yavapai County was veterans. Ooh. And as far as the last PIT count that we just did, point in time count that's mandated by HUD to do annually, we just got the word back that we're at 11%. So what we're doing as a community matters, and everybody has an impact. And once again, as Embry-Riddle even, there's so many different community partners that are out there, and it's beautiful to watch the growth and the collaboration between everybody to make this happen.
All right. Very quickly, we've got 30 seconds. One more time, I want to hear this week. What this weekend? Next weekend, November 1st.
No,
Where do they need to drop off food?
Okay, so November 1st, it's going to be from 9 to 3 p.m., and it's at 1040 Whipple Street here in Prescott. That's where our Liberty Point facility is. And if people don't get that, you can go to our Facebook page, US Vets Prescott. We have all the different events that are coming up. You can also get them there, too.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you guys. So don't go anywhere because you like me, and then we'll be back with more after this. And we're back here on KYCA PM 928-541-1016. Jason Zenzaletta sitting in for Pat Kuykendall. Again, want to thank Lisa Mitz for coming in to talk about the Evening of Destiny. That is this Saturday. Get your tickets now, folks, because it's going to be important, and it's an important thing. And then again, November 1st is the food drive, but I think you guys will never turn anything down. Am I correct?
Not at all. We'd love to see some volunteers show up as well, and just help out in any way you can.
U.S. Vets has been a very important organization for years, and we've seen that firsthand here. We've had people come through the station who have talked about it, and when it was at the VA center, I think the office was over at the VA at one point, and things like that. So, so we're happy about that. Now I'm going to move on to Richard. Finally, sorry to keep you on the sideline there, but then again, you did say you like Pat better, so. It's okay. Richard, reintroduce yourself, please, while I'm being patient here. Richard Rodriguez with Embry-Riddle. What are you doing over there?
I'm the Veterans Coordinator at Embry-Riddle. I'm in charge of all the student veterans that are using their post 9/11 GI Bill to further their education.
All right. Now, do you deal with the veterans from Embry-Riddle after they've gone back into the military and come out, or you're just dealing with the kids on campus right now?
Just with the kids on campus, because they're non-traditional students. So your traditional student is someone who goes to high school, then immediately to college. Vets are a little bit different. They're non-traditional. They've served at least one tour in the military. They're older. They have life experience. Some of them have been downrange, and they don't always fit together well with the traditional students.
I know that we've been out of Iraq and Afghanistan now pretty much for 4 or 5 years where we were working on that. Are you still seeing quite a few veterans from there? I mean, I know they're aging up just a little bit more, but we're still getting a lot of vets from that.
Absolutely. We've got we have a building where we have about 50 constant members. We have 120 vets, but about 50 of them come into the building on a constant basis. And probably a good at least half of those, if not more, are combat vets.
Okay. Plus, you're dealing with ROTC and that program to an extent?
Not really.
Just veterans. Okay,
just veterans,
gotcha.
Yeah. We deal with ROTC. We're partners, and I love Colonel Davis, who runs it. But we don't do a lot of things together. It's just the nature of the beast of programs. But we are partners in quite a few things.
Well, some interaction can't hurt.
Yeah.
A good inspiration to be able to say, yeah, I can handle a person like that or whatever, and be like that. And that would be good.
And not to forget Major Brothers. He's in charge of the Army ROTC. He's awesome.
All right. So tell us about, first of all, you've got, we've got an event coming up on November 8th.
7th.
So, am I on the wrong day? I am on
November
the wrong
7th.
Day. Sorry, wrong flyer. Pat threw everything at me. I'm trying. All right, tell us what you got going.
So we have a flag retirement ceremony. This is our 3rd year in a row for this flag retirement ceremony. How this all started was the campus flies 3 separate flags. Okay. Army ROTC flies 1, Campus Safety flies 1 at the main entrance, and Air Force ROTC flies 1 at their building. And when they were getting to the point to where they're tattered and worn out and unserviceable, they would give them to me, because what do you do with a vet? With a flag, you give it to a vet. That's what people know. They know they have these flags that they can't fly, but nobody knows what to do with them. So my boys were Boy Scouts, so we would take them home and just have our own little flag retirement ceremony.
Right.
So I decided, I'm like, why am I doing this at home? Let's just make an event out of it. So that's how this all got started. And so we took it up about 25 notches. So we don't mess around. Anything we do is over the top. So this is a combination. This is an event like you've never seen, because a lot of people have not been exposed or have the chance to be able to get exposed to any military ceremonies. So this is a combination between a Navy retirement, because I'm Navy. This is Navy based, and a military funeral. So we retire 13 flags for the original 13 colonies. We give a history lesson on the flag. We usually have 3 of the 4 mayors come out. Police come out, fire come out, the fire department comes out. The American Legion Post 6 does the colors. We have Arizona Combat Motorcycles come out, display the bikes. We have the Post 6 Legion Riders come out. This year, we have 13 flags and 13 handlers who do that. This year, it's going to be Boy Scout Troop 7. It's going to be Young Marines. It's going to be Prescott High School, JROTC. Those are the 13 that are going to handle the flags. It's just a great community event. We start off Pledge Allegiance, the national anthem. We go into the history of the flag, which we talk about. Betsy Ross was not the first one, to get in that position. And we talk about the changes of the flag and the different versions of it. Okay. And then we go into an area that's, a little somber. We added a section last year, which is called Honor the Fallen. So we honor, different people that have fallen, given their life under the flag, whether they're killed in action, killed on duty, or killed due to PTSD. Mm-hmm. And it's both first responder and military. Okay. So we try to always, have a little of each from home, unfortunately, and, the ones that have are military. So most of those have been friends of mine because that's who I know. I did 20 years in the SEAL teams. So we have plenty people there that have lost their lives, unfortunately. Yeah. And the guest speaker who talks about the person who we're honoring has to have a connection to that person. So they're speaking from the heart. So it's a very emotional event. It's a very somber event, but it's a very patriotic event. So last year, the wife of the sergeant that got killed in Cordes Junction, mm-hmm. she gave the speech opening up, talking about her husband. And oh my gosh, yeah, it brought the house down. Yeah. And then after that, we parade the fallen to where we bring that. There's a poster of that person that we're talking about. And this way the people in the crowd have a face to look at while the guest speaker is speaking. Mm. So at the end, we parade the fallen, we bring it back in front of the whole crowd. And the people who are actually retiring, they're veterans who are retiring the flags, they're in their dress uniforms. They're all either in their blues, whether it's Marine Corps or whether it's dress or not. I mean, dress uniforms, whether they're Air Force, Marine Corps. They take that poster, bring it out, and give a slow salute to the crowd, and everybody loses it right there. Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, we honor some people like the Prescott National Memorial Ladies, which I had no clue existed until last year. Yeah. And these ladies are a group of ladies that have been doing this for over 20 years, who go to the National Cemetery, and they go to every veteran's funeral. And if there's a surviving member, they give a rose and a card to the surviving member. If there's no surviving member, they accept that flag so that vet doesn't die completely alone, which is horrible for a vet to die alone.
Yes.
Then they take that flag, they donate it to the American Legion. American Legion donates them to us for a retirement. Oh. So it's a full circle on that.
Wow. So that's amazing. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to take a break. Yep. I want to come back to you because I know we got a lot more to talk about. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break. If you have any questions, 928-541-1016. Back after this. And we're back here on the KYCA PM show. Jason Zenzaletta sitting in for Pat Kuykendall. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Very quickly, we've got a phone call. Kurt, once again, quick question. How you doing, Kurt?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. So I am a supporter in a small way of Destiny House. I know Lisa and David Mitz, who've been doing this for like a dozen years now.
Mm-hmm.
I attended last year. I learned something that I had a misperception about. Illegal aliens are not the ones that are doing all this slavery business,
Right.
which is shocking to me.
Yes, this is all domestic, and this is who they're attempting to help are people within the U.S. themselves. We had a little discussion about that, so people have to understand that, and it's like we, like we see with a lot of veterans issues, we see with a lot of other things, they are hidden. We don't always see everything that's going on, and sometimes don't think about it as much as we probably should.
Well, no, and I know you've reported some busts locally, so I appreciate that. But otherwise, we don't hear about it. So anyway, I just had to put my 2 cents in. I strongly recommend attending the concert and helping support them.
Absolutely. Okay, Kurt, thanks for putting that in, and we'll let everybody know how to get tickets when we get to the end of the show. Okay, thanks, Kurt.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Richard, back to you now. You've got this ceremony coming up, but you've also got another event coming as well. But that ceremony, everybody tries to be very reverent around and being very careful around retiring flags.
Yes.
But you folks, like you say, take it to the next level, and that's wonderful.
We took it way beyond the next level.
Way beyond the next level, yeah. And that's fantastic. Now, this is open to the public?
Yes, it's open to the public. Bring your unserviceable flags, because a lot of people fly the flags, but they know they can't fly them when they're unserviceable, but they don't know what to do with them.
Right.
So we'll take those in.
Fantastic. And again, this is November 7th,
Yes.
beginning at 5 o'clock. Where exactly?
At Embry-Riddle in the amphitheater, which is just below the library.
Okay. Now, you got another event.
Yes.
Let's discuss that real quick.
Yes, on the following Monday,
Uh-huh.
November 10th, is the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
So at 10 o'clock a.m. in that same amphitheater, we're having a cake cutting ceremony. It's
All
a
right.
tradition that the Marine Corps does every year on their birthday. And Colonel Cohn used to run it up. He was a previous Marine Corps colonel, and he passed away last year, so there was no one at the point to take it over, and so they asked me if I would do it, and I said absolutely, why not? I couldn't think of a better reason, especially 250th. So we're going to bring that tradition back and do that every year.
That's
And it's
fantastic.
open to the public, and it's free.
All right, November 10th. That is Monday, day before Veterans Day.
Yes.
So a very big time for us here in Prescott with our veterans population. As we know, we've got a lot of people here. I know the VA draws quite a few, but again, Embry-Riddle. Very quickly, when you think about the Embry-Riddle veterans who are coming in, fulfilling the GI Bill, is there anything in particular that they're coming in and saying, we think this major is most important, or are they're just scattered to all the programs and doing everything?
That's a hard one, because the two biggest programs are engineering and flight. Fortunately, we're able to do flight, but engineering, that's a no-joke program, and there's quite a few veterans in that. I'm nowhere near smart enough to go through that one. 2 + 2 is about max for me. But
Well, most of us, let me
yeah.
tell you, yeah.
Yeah, we've got one room, which is a quiet study room in our building, and there's 2 walls now with whiteboards, and you'll see one kid doing homework, and all 2 boards, which is one of them is 6 feet and the other one's about 9 feet. It's one question. They're full, and the answer is like 2 or 3, to the nth degree, whatever it is. But
Wow.
it's just calculations the whole way. And I'm looking at that and I'm going, forget it. That's way beyond me.
I have to think a lot of these veterans who are getting into Embry-Riddle and they're doing whatever, engineering or flight or aeronautics or astronautics these days.
Yeah.
They got a lot of support and a lot of education in the military leading up to it, and helped them decide what they were doing, I suppose.
Cyber is another program. Cybersecurity is another program that's starting to get big.
Oh, that's great.
So.
It's necessary, I know.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're looking forward to both of those, and we're going to come back to those. Tell you what, we're going to take our last break, and then we're going to go around the horn and discuss a few things and see what's going on with our vets locally and how people can help out, because there's a lot of help that's necessary. And you know what? You need to support your local students too, right?
Right.
Yep. You got
Agree with that one.
the veterans at Embry-Riddle, everybody who's trying to either get a leg up or get an education or whatever. It's all important. So, all right, very quickly. Okay. I'll tell you what. Scott, very fast. Let's do David real quick on line one. I know he wants to talk about Destiny House real quick. David, you're on.
I'm here.
Hey, thanks for calling in. This is concerning the Evening of Destiny, correct?
Yes. I'm very excited about it. I just want to encourage people. I'm Lisa's husband, and I'm a local acupuncturist here and a pastor. And
she talked very well of you, sir.
Encourage people to come to the evening, be part of the solution, not just part of the problem.
And it's a solution for a problem that, unfortunately, as we were saying, a lot of people just don't think about.
They don't. But it is the number 2 crime in our country, and there's a lot of victims that need a lot of help. And, Prescott is an area that's known for restoration and recovery.
That's
so
true.
This is a natural for here.
That's true. Okay, so again, this is Saturday night, October 25th, and I'll just say tickets available again, ycpac.com, 928-776-2000 for the box office. And David, thanks for calling in, and we appreciate Lisa coming in here and hope everything goes well Saturday night.
Yes, it will. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Be blessed.
Thank you. We'll hope to talk to you again soon. All right, we're going to take our final break, and we will be back after this. Okay, we're back here on the PM show. Thanks for everybody coming in. And again, Matt Phillips, Brian Campbell, Richard Rodriguez around the horn here, talking about Veterans Affairs and everything that's going on in the community, because there's so many aspects to all of this. And as we were talking before, I want to talk to you guys first. As we said, the need is just there and growing, because, as I think we've said this before, and you said it, that we tend to draw people into Prescott because of the VA, who are veterans of all ages and stripes and everything, because they know that they're going to get good service here. The Bob Stump VA Center is outstanding.
Absolutely.
And so they tend to congregate here. But you folks see practically everything, just dealing with all manner of issues and things that they have to work through. And hopefully they will be able to. And when we asked about the Destiny House, she was hoping for a 2-year graduation. What do you see with the vets? I know you see some successes and some that might not be so successful, but some I'm sure that take some time to work through.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always saying brother and sister, just as a veteran, and for me, we've seen it all.
Yeah.
I think for us, programmatically, our average length of stay is 158 days. And a veteran could stay in our program for up to 2 years as well. So within that 158 days, I find it just remarkable that the staff can pull together, find out all the different social determinants of health, and figure out what the goal, and end state will be, and they work through that so remarkably. We've had a lot of veterans pass this past year, and they passed from just natural causes, but they weren't homeless when they passed. And
that's a big thing.
And so that's something that every time a brother or sister passes, we go up there and we put a flag over their body, and then when the coroner shows up, we stand outside and give a slow hand salute, and show our respect and our love, and it's a lot. It reminds me of one of our brothers that came from South America, and he had a wife that passed away from COVID. A few years later, he remarried. He was still living down there, and just things weren't going well. There was some guerrilla warfare that they commandeered the house. They kidnapped his wife. He was told that his wife had died, and then through all that, he ended up catching a plane and ending up here in Prescott.
Wow.
And one of the rental companies drove him to the Prescott VA, and next thing you know, he's at U.S. Vets. You get these bonds, and you have these stories, and the winning behind that was, he felt very defeated, and he wanted to end his life, but he has a support network there of brothers and sisters and staff, and that also reaches to what you're saying, like the VA the Prescott VA Center, and all the awesome things that Director Sample's doing out there, and their whole team. And it's amazing how everybody comes together to make this story successful. And he went down into our workforce development center that we have on site at Liberty Point, and next thing you know, he found out that his current wife was alive, and that they didn't take her life, and the government came in and he got the house back. So we helped him file for his visa, and we got him back down there. While he was up here, the VA team focused on increasing his benefits, that he so much deserved. And when you get that hug, and when you get that hug, and you're just saying, I may not see you again, brother, but I love you, and thank you for sticking it out.
Wow.
Because it's just as much, the effort that he put in, and to match what we did to help him out as well. It's you meet the veterans where they're at, and there's no easy answer to homelessness and mental health and all the other stuff that goes with struggles. But we have a team that's there, and I always lean back on the community. We have 3 veteran connection hubs that we're pushing for. That's going to have mental health, employment, and outreach opportunities. Currently, we have one in Prescott Valley that we haven't done a ribbon cutting ceremony on it yet, but we're all moved in. It's at the National Bank of Arizona, right there on Glassford Hill Road and 69. We've had just an abundant amount of support from Mayor Palguda and also Chief Tyser. So it's wonderful to see the community coming together there. And along with the Rotary Club that we have in Prescott Valley, it's just remarkable. Chamber of Commerce in Prescott Valley as well. And then we have another one that we're opening up in Cottonwood. We believe that these hubs are going to be an opportunity to reach veterans, outside of the normal range. So for 22 years that we've been in Prescott, we see as U.S. Vets nationally, and of course with us, that it's important that we start really digging in and continuing what we've started with prevention. And if we can focus on prevention, then that's key. Sheriff Rhodes has done a wonderful job letting us come in on the front side. And so now, his team screens all of the inmates for veteran status. And then they talk to them about what, are they interested in benefits that we may have or resources that we may have at our fingertips. So then what we do is we go down there to the Prescott Detention Center and the Verde Valley Detention Center alternating Wednesdays. So, it's just it's wonderful, and yeah, I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, around the horn real quick.
One thing I'd like to say really quickly is
do.
that, I would be amiss if I didn't thank the community. I mean, we've got an incredible community that supports all our veterans, including Monique and Michael from Bees Knees Dancing.
Yep.
They're actually that November 8th you were talking about. That's actually the Silver Bells and Heroes 1940s formal gala.
Oh, that's coming. That's right.
And that's coming. That's actually going to be at Founding Fathers from 5:30 to 10 p.m. All the proceeds for that are going to go to U.S. Vets. That's something that they're doing on their own, and they're helping us out. So just a big shout out to Bees Knees. We really appreciate all they do, and Founding Fathers.
We're down to 10 seconds very quickly. Richard, November 7th, the flag ceremony at Embry-Riddle at the amphitheater. November 10th, the cake cutting. Fantastic.
Same place, the amphitheater.
November 1st, food drive at the Liberty Center, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then everything's on our Facebook page, U.S. Vets Prescott, if you want to pick any other additional information.
There you go. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Pat. See you later.